Choose the correct sequence in the hierarchy of taxonomical categories in descending order. Now, descending means from the biggest to the lowest. Now, option A is totally ruled out because it shows the ascending order. Species is the basic unit of classifications. So, the biggest one is the division, then class, order, family, genus, and species. So, the correct option is D. Where is Biosphere Reserve Simlipal located? Now there are 14 Biosphere Reserve in India, and from the options given, one is located in Odisha. Next, bionomical system of nomenclature was given by, it was Linus who had given the bionomical system of nomenclature. Murine is not found in the cell wall of, now murine is also called as mucopeptide or peptidoglycan. It is found in the bacterial cell wall including eubacteria, cyanobacteria. So it is found in eubacteria, cyanobacteria. Now algae, these are, diatoms are algae and they do not have murine. So the correct option is D. Next question. Viruses are also known as, now viruses are also known as virion. Next question. The leaves in pteridophytes are small as in, now the leaves of pteridophytes are small. Small means microphylous, as in Selaginella. So the correct option is C. They can also, the leaves of pteridophytes can also be large or macrophylous, as in fern. But here it is microphylous, which means in Selaginella. Next, Ectocarpus dictyota, laminaria, sargassum and fucus, they all belong to the class, option is A, Faecaceae. The larva of scon, the larva of cycon is Amphiblastula. It has a flagella at only one pole. Next, choanocytes or collar cells. So choanocytes are nothing but collar cells. Is a characteristic feature of, it is a characteristic feature of sponges. Now these are cells with single flagella, remember. The excretory material of bony fishes, like hippocampus is ammonia. Bony fishes are ammonotelic, those which secrete the excretory products in the form of ammonia. Next, identify A, B and C in the given diagram. Now, see this entire part is the lamina of leaf. B is the petiole and A is the leaf base. So the correct option is A. Which one of the following represents floral characteristic of Poaceae? Poaceae, floral characteristic of Poaceae. Now in family Poaceae, inflorescence is compounded spike, flowers are sessile, so the flowers are sessile, bracteolate, zygomorphic, cyclic, hypogynous. The perianth is represented by membranous lodicules. Stamens usually 3 or 6. The ovary is superior and unilocular, with single ovule, and basal placentation style is short or absent, and 2 feathery stigma are present. 2 feathery stigma are present. So the ovary is superior, unilocular, and the basal placentation style is short, or it is absent, and it has 2 feathery stigma. So the correct option here would be C. So here A represents the cotyledon, B represents the plumule, and C represents the radicle. So here the correct option is option C. Next, which of the following statements are correct? When a fruit develops from the inflorescence, it is composite, is true. Mesocarp is the edible part in apple. Now apple, which is Pyrus malis, is pome or a false fruit in which fleshy thalamus is edible. So in case of apple, the edible portion is the thalamus. So this statement is wrong. Gynobasic style is seen in Ocimum. Ocimum is a member of the family Labiatae, and it is characterized by gynobasic style. So this statement is true. Hypanthodium is a special type of inflorescence found in Euphorbia species. Now in Euphorbia species, Cythium is the special type of inflorescence, not Hypothodium. The special type of inflorescence in Euphorbia is Cythium. So even option number 4 is wrong. So the correct one is first and third, hence the option B. Axillary buds originate from shoot apical meristeme. Which of the above following are simple tissues? Parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, they all are simple tissues. Hence the correct option is D. Next, the exchange of gases takes place in the cockroaches by the process of simple diffusion. Identify A, B and C in the correct figures and choose the correct combination of options. Now A represents unicellular gland. B represents multicellular glands, and C represents multi-layered glands. So the correct option here is A. In prokaryotic cell, the ratio of adenine plus thymine to guanine plus cytosine is, the option is always less than 1. In prokaryotic cell, their ratio is low. The ratio is less than 1. So the correct option is B. Which of the following is the correct representation of A, B, C in the given figure of a chromosome? Now A represents centromere. So A is centromere. B are satellites. And C are secondary constriction. So the correct option here is A. G in DNA strand base pairs with C by 3 hydrogen bonds. So the G bonds with C by 3 hydrogen bonds. Which of the following is an example of a structural protein? Myosin, keratin and collagen. In fact, all of these are structural protein. Which one of the following stage corresponds to the Mendel's law of independent assortment? Now, independent assortment, what does it say? The paternal and the maternal chromosomes of each homologous pair segregates during anaphase A. Okay? And independently of the other. The anaphase 1 is the psychological event that corresponds to Mendel's law of independent assortment. Although the maternal and the paternal chromosomes have the genes of the same trait, either chromosomes of a pair may carry different alleles of the same gene. Hence the word independent assortment. So it is during anaphase 1 which is thought to correspond to Mendel's law of independent assortment. Which of the following statements are correct about meiosis? Meiosis is a double division. It gives rise to 4 cells, 4 haploid cells. It's true. The cells may be haploid or diploid. Now this statement is wrong. No bouquet stage is recorded. Even this statement is wrong. Pairing or synapses for homologous chromosome takes place during zygote of prophase 1 and continues up to metaphase 1. This option is correct. So the correct is option B, where first and fourth statement are true. Next question. Read carefully the following statements and choose the right answer from the options given below. Diffusion is a slow process and it does not depend upon the living system. Is true. Usually, process of diffusion does not need energy because the solutes move from area of higher concentration to area of lower concentration. Diffusion can occur from one part of cell to the another part of the same cell, or from one cell to another cell, or from tissue to another tissue is also true. Diffusion is a rapid process over a short distance but extremely slow over long distance is true. So the correct option is all 4 statements right. The option is D. In land plants, the guard cells differ from other epidermal cells in having. Now in land plants, the guard cells differ from other plant cells in having chloroplast. So the correct option is C. Which of the following is used as an alternative for minerals? Decaron is used as an alternative for minerals. The plant ash indicates. Now the plant ash forms a very small portion of plant's dry weight. Analysis of plant ash shows that 92% of the minerals are present in different plants. So the correct option is B. Photorespiration is light dependent reaction in which utilization of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide takes place. Now we have to identify A, B and C in the given figure of cyclic phosphorylation. and choose the correct option accordingly. Now what happens in cyclic phosphorylation is only PS1 is functional and the formation of ATP takes place. The possible location of the cyclic phosphorylation is stroma lamella. So here what happens is, in the presence of light, the ADP is converted into ATP. Formation of ATP takes place. Then the electron acceptor is transported by the electron transporter system and here this is only PS1. So the correct option is B. A is electron transport system, B is ADP and C is PS1. Next. In glycolysis, NADH plus H plus is formed from NAD when there is one step of glycolysis when NADH plus H plus is formed when NAD plus and 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde is converted into 1,3 bis-phosphoglyceraldehyde, and hence the correct option is A. The 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde is converted into 1,3 biphosphoglycerate. Next question. More carbon dioxide is evolved in the volume of oxygen consumed when the respiratory substrate is fat. Because organic acid evolves more carbon dioxide than volume of oxygen consumed, and when broken down as a respiratory substrate under aerobic condition, that is RQ is more than unity. Next question. Lag phase, stationary phase, exponential phase. Arrange the step of geometrical growth in correct sequence and choose the correct options accordingly. So here the correct option is, first there will be lag phase. Now what happens during lag phase is, the organisms adapt themselves to the growing conditions. During the lag phase, the bacterial growth cycle, the synthesis of RNA, enzymes and other molecules take place. Then, so first there is lag phase, then there is an exponential growth phase, and then there is stationary phase. So the correct option is 1, 3 and 2. So it's B. Heterophyly can be observed in cotton, coriander as well as larkspur. So in all of these. Environment heterophyly is the difference in shapes of leaf produced in air and water. So this is environment heterophyly. Difference in shapes of leaf in water and land. So environment heterophyly is seen in buttercup. Deamination occurs in kidney. Now deamination means removal of the amino group from the compound, and it occurs in liver. Next, the largest variety of digestive enzymes are found in omnivorous, because they can feed on both herbivorous and carnivorous. Movement of the air into and out of the lungs is carried out by pressure gradient, because when the diaphragm contracts, the intercostal muscles contract, there is an increase in the thoracic capacity. So the pressure outside the air, the partial pressure for the oxygen outside the air is more than that in the thoracic cavity, and hence oxygen diffuses from higher to lower concentration. So it is always pressure gradient which determines the movement of air. Next, CO2 is carried by hemoglobin in the form of carbaminohemoglobin. So it's carbaminohemoglobin. Next, bundle of His is part of which of the following organs in human body? Now the bundle of His is found in heart. And these are very important for electrical conduction. RBCs have an average lifespan of 120 days. Human RBC have an average lifespan of 120 days. The region of nephrons found in the renal medulla is the Henle's loop. Henle's loop is always found in the renal medulla of kidney. So in cortical nephrons, the characteristic of cortical nephrons is the loop of Henle is very short, vas recta is absent or highly reduced, and these are found in xerophytic condition. So here the loop of Henle is very short. Next, volume of the urine is regulated by two things: ADH, which is also called as antidiuretic hormone, and aldosterone. So the correct option is ADH and aldosterone. Where are the saddle joints present in humans? Now saddle joints are present in between carpals and metacarpals. So the correct option is A. When body part moves towards the median axis, the muscle is called adductor. It is a muscle that draws a part towards the median axis. Next, what is the purpose of locomotion performed by animals? Search of food, shelter, mate, suitable breeding grounds, favorable climatic conditions, escaping from enemies or predators. The answer is all of these. Choose the correct statement about Nissel's granule from the codes given below. The first statement says there are regular masses of ribosomes. Next says there are irregular masses of ribosomes and endoplasmic reticulum. Third says the granular body and they synthesize proteins in the cell codes. Now statements second, third, fourth are true and hence the option is D. Which of the following statement is correct? CNS is a site of information processing and control. Is incorrect. So this statement is true. CNS includes brain and spinal cord is true. The peripheral nervous system includes all the nerves of the body associated with CNS. The nerve fibers of DNS are of two types: afferent and efferent arteriole. Now this statement is long. CNS lies along the main longitudinal axis. They are afferent and efferent. So the nerve fibers of peripheral nervous system are afferent and efferent, not of central nervous system. So this is specifically for peripheral nervous system. So the option is D. Progesterone hormone is secreted by corpus luteum in the ovaries. So when there is a mature graphical follicle which ovulates or the egg is released, then it gets transformed itself into the corpus luteum which secretes progesterone on maintenance of pregnancy. Next question. Parathyroid hormone is a peptide hormone secreted by the parathyroid gland in response to low calcium level in the blood. So parathyroid hormone is a peptide hormone. The reproduction of sexual reproduction generates new genetic combination leading to variation. During oogenesis, each haploid oocyte produces one functional egg and 3 polar bodies. Each diploid oocyte produces one functional egg and 3 polar bodies. Now in this figure, we have to identify what is A, B and C. So A represents the scutellum. B represents the coleoptile. C represents the shoot apex. D represents the epiblast. E represents the radical. F represents the root cap. And G represents the coleorhiza. So the correct option is B. Next, which one of the following is referred to as xenogamy? Now, xenogamy is geitonogamy between two flowers on different plants of the same species. And hence the correct option is C. Pollen grains of one flower reaching the stigma of another flower present on different plant of same species. Next, we have to identify the given diagram. Now, A is the nucellus or the nucleus. B is MMC. C is the nucleus. And D is the megaspore. So the correct option is A. The luteal phase is also called as, now the luteal phase is the phase where there is formation of corpus luteum and it starts to secrete progesterone. Hence, the luteal phase is also called as secretory phase. Binary fission is a mode of vegetative propagation, asexual propagation. Next, the dash secrete human chorionic gonadotropin. Now, which cell secretes human chorionic gonadotropin is the trophoblastic cell. So, A is trophoblastic. B, the HCG maintains the corpus luteum and stimulate it to secrete progesterone. So, B is corpus luteum, C is progesterone, and the later maintains the endometrium, that is D is the endometrium of the uterus and causes it to grow throughout pregnancy. This also prevents it also prevents menstruation. The correct option is A. Test tube baby means a baby who is born. The ovum is fertilized externally and then implanted into the uterus. So that is exactly the process of test tube baby, where the mating of the ovum with the egg is difficult. The ovum with the sperm is difficult, and hence they are allowed to mate outside, and then thereafter it is implanted into the uterus. Spermicidal creams are used on the coatings of condoms, diaphragms, cervical crabs, and valves are. Now, some spermicidal cream contain chemicals which kills the sperm. If they used along with the barrier contraceptive methods, can increase their effectivity. So, these are used for increasing. Spermicidal creams along with use of condoms are used for increasing the effectiveness of contraception. Next, copper releasing IUDs, intrauterine devices, are used for suppressing the activity of motility of sperms. When one sex chromosome is lacking in female and the males are homogametic, In that condition, the sex chromosome representation is given by, it would be given by A. How? So it is going to be A plus Z, A plus O, A plus Z, A plus Z. So the combinations here would be AA, ZZ, AA, ZZ, AA, ZO, and AA, ZO. Next question. In myotonic dystrophia is an autosomal dominant trait. Failure of segregation of alleles result in chromosomal loss. Failure of segregation of alleles result in chromosomal gain. Cystic fibrosis is Mendelian disorder. Now, of the given options, all options are true and hence all of these. Lambrish chromosomes are seen in. Now, if there are million in a repressor, then it is no longer suitable for the building to an operator gene. Next question. Assuming the level of glucose is low, a mutation occurred in presence of lactopon in E. coli, preventing the binding of the repressor to the operator. It will result in constitutive expression. In bacteria, which enzyme catalyzes the transcription of all types of RNA? So DNA dependent RNA polymerase is the correct option. Evolution that shift the allele frequency in a study consistent direction is called as directional evolution. Evolution is an event of changes through which an organism is descended from ancestors, and hence the correct option is B. Gynorrhea is caused by Neisseria gonorrhoeae. So the correct option is D. Next, which one of the following is correctly matched? Malaria is known to be widely human disease caused by infection which photosynthesis protozoan, which is pathogenic. It is protozoan Plasmodium female Anopheles mosquito transmitted from one place to the another. So the correct option here is C. Which one of the indigenous brand is chicken? And that is Asil. A beast of burden which needs little care is donkey. The raw material obtained from which one of the following pair and is used in paper making. Now here, the pulp prepared from the straw of several species of family Poaceae is used in manufacturing paper of almost coarse and the fine quality straw, board, artificial rayon, etc. So here the correct option is B. Leaves of which plants can sharpen the memory? Now, leaves of ocimum, which means tulsi, they are known to sharpen the memory. Two enzymes responsible for growth of bacteriophages in E. coli were isolated. One was methylase, another was restriction, and other was restriction endonucleases. What is the significance of methylase? Now, the protection of DNA from the action of restriction endonucleases by adding one methyl group was recognized within a sequence was recognized by restriction enzyme. So the correct option is A. PCR technique was invented by Carl Mills. Paleontologists unearthed a human skull during excavation. A small fragment of the scalp tissue was still attached to it. Only little DNA could be extracted. If the genes of the ancient man needs to be analyzed, the best way of sufficient information of DNA from this extract is obtained by the subjection of the DNA to polymerase chain reaction. So the correct option is B. Now the polymerase chain reaction is a technique in which small samples of the DNA can be amplified. So since only little DNA was obtained, the PCR technique would be used to amplify the signals. Animal whose DNA is manipulated to possess and express an extra gene are known to be, they are called as transgenic animals. Now, transgenic models have been developed by it is mainly been developed for human diseases like cancer, cystic fibrosis, Alzheimer's disease, etc. Today's transgenic models have been developed by many humanity disease, which includes, now in present day, all the diseases which are listed below are quite on rampant, and hence the correct option is D. Auticology is the study of relationship between auticology, which is also known as species ecology. So what is auticology? It is also known as species ecology. It is also called as species ecology, and it is a study of a reciprocal relationship of every stage of development. So it is the reciprocal relationship of every stage of development, and hence the correct option is A. In which of the following pairs is the specific characteristic of soil not correctly matched? Not correctly matched. Now here, black soil being marked with calcium carbonate is wrong. It is formed by basaltic rock. Basaltic rock, remember. The terrai forest are coniferous forests which are found at an altitude of about 1700 to 3000 meters. Major trees are various species of Pinus, Cedrus and Cupreus. Pinus, Cedrus and Cupreus. So it is a tropical forest. Food chain consists of all of these. Which of the following expanded forms of the protection of following acronyms is correct? IUCN, International Union of Conservation and Nature and Natural Resources, is the correct option. So the correct option is C. Next question. Which one of the following pairs of an animal and a plant represent endangered organism in India? Now in India, the two plants and animals which are endangered are tamarind and rhesus monkey. Which of the following is secondary air pollution? Now heat rays would be giving you the smog will be produced by secondary air pollution. CO2, methane, nitrogen oxide and carbon chlorofluoro compound are called as greenhouse gases because they absorb and they emit the heat rays.